remember how you guys rolled in last week.
So were we.
I know. And then
that's why I offered it to you. And then there were a different two.
Yeah, exactly. And then next week it'll be
yeah, maybe I should sit next week.
You should sit next week out, and we can just swap.
Amazing.
You're listening to the Janchi Show, hosted by 3 Korean American adoptees diving headfirst into what it means to be adopted, Korean American, and more. And now, here's your hosts, Nathan, Patrick, and KJ.
Welcome back to the Janchi Show. I am your host, Nathan Nowak, along with one of the other hosts, KJ. KJ Roki. Hey.
No, stop. I always do the loop.
So you looped it last week, which was kind of funny at the time that you did that. So I did listen to the episode, but before we get into that, I don't know if anyone listened. Last week we had an episode where I was missing, and now this week we have an episode where Patrick is missing. But we are still here. We are still Korean adoptees.
I'm still here.
You're still here. Yeah. Next week, however, we can't make any promises.
Yeah, I'll still be here. It's fine.
As you heard, Janchi Show, as I say, if you already don't know, we are Korean adoptees, discovering our Korean culture and adoption stories and other food, other, I don't know, things of importance that help fulfill our lives and hopefully others.
I'm realizing the mistake of I should have let in because you've been off for a week, but instead I just watched you squirm.
Yes,
it's fine.
As they didn't know, last week I was on vacation. I was in Wisconsin, and yes, I was happily enjoying some vacay time. But you guys did a good episode. I really liked everything I heard.
Well, thanks, man.
Good job.
Hope to keep it entertaining. I don't know. It's one of those things. Patrick and I are just like, I don't know what we're going to talk about. And meanwhile, you're like, but I have to have a plan. Please, just let there be a plan. And Patrick and I are like, yeah, man, just whatever. Just chill vibes. What up? Hey, as long as I can see the waves, we're good. Whatever.
Hey, you guys even went to a snack, which I was impressed with.
Oh, yeah. So. I was like, initially we were like, I don't know if we're going to do this. And then I was like, no, this feels good. Let's do it. So.
And you picked one that's completely, like, I guess, unmarked mostly. Except,
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you have the box, this black/brown candy?
Yeah. It's called Black Sugar Candy. And it's made by Haitai.
Okay.
I think.
Haitai is Huksatang.
Or Haetae. Maybe that's Haitai. It's not Haitai. Haitai is Haitai, right?
Oh, yeah, but maybe maybe the Korean of Haitai is Haitai.
You're right.
Wrote it.
Yep, because on the back it does say incorporated Haitai. So yeah, it's the same company.
Interesting. So Haitai used a different romanization.
Yeah.
So all this time we've been saying Haitai and it should be Haitai.
Yeah, maybe.
Dang, if only any of us knew how to read Korean. Oh, well.
But yeah, I mean, you guys kind of hit it on the head with it being a black sugar kind of, I don't know, candy. I'm really curious now to try it, which I will do after the show. But I should have done it before this so I could have jumped in on my critique. Oh, you guys told me to do IG Live, but...
You didn't feel like people just wanted to watch you eat a sucker for 5 minutes? Like, I'm too old for this. Or too young for this? I don't know. Maybe if you were like 80, people would be interested. I'm like, look at that old guy eating candy.
Although I don't think that's a bad idea, just going on live every once in a while, eating a snack of Korean origin and critiquing it. I don't think that's a bad idea. I may do that. I may do that. Mark my words.
Okay, you heard him here first, folks. Yes, you were up in Wisconsin, which we learned also that it was a vacation, which we learned.
Yeah.
I almost immediately I don't know. I hadn't opened any social media apps for a while, and then I opened it and it's like, look, here I am in Wisconsin. What a nice time to rest and relax. And I was like, oh, that's what he's doing, and also where he is. It's fine. We're friends in real life. I don't keep up with people on Facebook.
It's like, I think he's working. Maybe he's not working. Maybe he's doing con stuff. I don't know. What is he?
Yeah, exactly. So
who knows?
Yeah, how was it, man? You said it was your first time being back with extended family since COVID all started, right? So
yeah, we were last back there in 2019, so right before everything started, and we were there announcing the upcoming birth of Robin. And so
in 2019, I was like, wait a minute, wait, Robin's already born. I thought we were gonna get another Janchi exclusive, and then I was like, wait, this is very old. Okay.
Yes, and so back then it was the new news, and so nobody had ever met her, of course, and we didn't go up, and so then now we went up, and lots of people got to meet her, so that was really fun, to experience that, and of course, my parents were there, and my sister and her family were there, so we really enjoyed getting together again, and just again, it is a nice, relaxing time filled with fun activities, water. Lots of food. I think I gained 5 pounds.
Water?
We're playing in the water, the bay.
Oh, I was like...
Sorry. You're just drinking water.
I thought, you were like, if we got lots of activities, we've got water. I'm like, sir, this is America in the north. There is plenty of water to go around.
But so it was good. It was a lot of fun. And it's been a while. That it's been since I've been up there. I mean, 3 years. So lots have happened in 3 years.
Is that a place that you and your family would have gone historically for vacations and things?
Yeah, almost every year back in the day when I was little, we would go up there frequently to visit my grandparents or other relatives, and then we would go for 4th of July's. It was just a good time for everyone to get together. So a lot of my relatives are also from Australia or East Coast, West Coast. Yeah, and so that's where we would all go to at times and all meet up. It was the central meet up vacation time.
Interesting.
4th of July.
I was going to say so your ancestral home, but then obviously your ancestral home is Korea, as is mine. But,
yes.
We get it. It's fine. Yeah. That's the world we live in.
Yep. But it was good. It was interesting. Water ski?
Yeah.
I do water ski, but we do not have a boat up there.
You don't have a boat. Okay. So what do you what water activities do you do for recreation?
Skipping rocks.
All right. That sounds deeply on brand for you.
It is completely on brand. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's very calming for me. I enjoy playing in the water, picking up rocks, I don't know, moving them, finding flat ones, skipping them. I don't know, really. It's for some reason, I enjoy that part of playing in the water. That's not funny.
That's just how on brand it is. This is that's amazing. That's everyone's reaction to. No, actually, I was being pretty honest. I like moving rocks. That's it. I'm sorry.
Making a beach. Looking for crawdads.
Are there crawdads up there?
Yeah, it's freshwater. So
I don't know how crawdads work.
I don't know. They live in freshwater. This is Sturgeon Bay, Door County, which is part of Green Bay, which is part of Lake Michigan. But it's a pretty big bay. It's not like a. The Great Lakes, they're not small. So.
We all know the Great Lakes. I've never, I've probably been to one, but yeah, all right. I got you. What does your family like to do for fun? Are you a game playing family? Are you a movie watching family? Are you I don't know, go do things family? When there's a lot of you there. Yeah,
back in the day, definitely game playing. But now it's changed because the kids, it's more by the time we wrestle them into bed and give baths and everything and they're asleep, it's 9:30 and we're exhausted by that time. And we played one game of Scrabble while we were there. But I saw a few other friends from Colorado that were up there at the same time, so that was fun. And that mainly just consisted of drinking. But it was good.
Wine o'clock, am I right?
Yeah, and then in the day we would go to see things like we went to a petting zoo. We did like stuff that I did as a kid, miniature golf. Tried to go to a place called Al Johnson's, which is a Swedish restaurant that has grass on the roof and goats grazing on the roof. That's a pretty
interesting.
That's a pretty interesting place. It's very popular though. It was a 2-hour wait, so we skipped it.
All right, that was a lot for my brain to handle. It's Al Johnson's.
Yep,
Swedish place. Grass on the roof. Also, you say roof. Goats on the roof.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, you say
all of that.
Roof.
What do you say?
I'm still stuck on roof.
Roof.
I can't even say it right. I say roof.
Roof.
Like a red-blooded
Like
American.
you sound like it's like the heart
roof.
when you say it. Roof. The roof is on fire.
Yeah, exactly. Das Roof.
Oh, okay. I say roof. I don't know why.
I don't know.
Huh.
Listeners, call in and just say the word ROOF. No further context is needed. I'd love to see an inbox full of that. That number is 972-677-8867.
I like how you guys were promoting it last week. It was like, please call in. Please call.
We're so lonely without Nathan.
I almost called actually while I was listening. I was thinking, I should call this, but it wasn't live. I was like, dang it. If I'd known when you guys were filming, I could have called when you were filming it. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been really funny.
But what about you? What have you been up to this last week?
Last week, I just worked. I don't know, become really boring in my old age now that I have a desk job. Like I said, we picked granite for our kitchen. I'm an incredibly... Oh, actually, that's not true. I've tried making some music. I have lots of 10-second snippets that probably all add up to approximately a minute and 20 seconds of like ideas. So nothing legitimate, just like this is a cool jingle that would do well on a TikTok. Anyways, that's all. So
yeah, I should have written notes about what you guys talked about so that I could jump in with my 2 cents on anything.
You just come in and Nathan's reading time, and you just go through a list of things where you're like, "Oh yeah, you said this, and this is my response."
You said that I gave you Lego. You're welcome.
Ew, no. You can't use it. Lego is not a noun. It is an adjective. You cannot give someone Lego. That sounds like a disease. I've given you Lego. And wait, hold on. Let me.
Gave you a Lego package. Sorry, Shang-Chi.
Your spouse has come down with a terrible case of Lego. Yikes. It sounds terrible. No, I beat him. I have completed him.
Oh, Lego, you did. There you go.
Lego they're not levels, but it's a Shang-Chi character that is great. Well, it's Shang-Chi and his dragon. I'm holding this up to the camera like anyone is watching. No one is watching. It's fine.
Sarah was watching. I saw her turn around. She's like, "You're talking about Lego on your podcast right now?
Are you wasting time talking about Lego bricks when you could be talking about adoption?"
We can talk about representation. I mean, the fact that they're coming back with another Asian director for the next some of the next Marvel movies. That's
really
big. Yeah. I also bought Everything Everywhere All at Once. I just haven't watched it yet.
Oh yeah, I need to buy that too.
Yeah, I saw it for $15 online, so I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." So yeah, I heard it was great. 98%, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's rare if you get high ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Isn't Ms. Marvel like one of the highest performing Marvel shows on Rotten Tomatoes?
I don't know. I have not.
Some other Asian
regret
representation.
to say that I still have yet to watch.
Also, 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It is okay,
dude. It's so good.
That's what I've heard. I'm just saving up so that I can binge it all at once. But
so that's not all about your time in Wisconsin, and I wanted to. Well, you had mentioned talking about that some. Just about being there in. Did you call it Trump land?
Oh, well, I didn't want to.
It's not like Trump land.
Red states. We went through a lot of red states driving there. So we went through Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. So I saw a fair amount of Trump flags and signs.
Is Colorado not a red state?
It's purple. It's more blue than it's been purple actually in the last many years. So
the last time I was there, I was there for a wedding for a military couple, and so everyone was just like super proud of America and like their commander in chief. And I was like, "This is weird." So that was like
a couple cities,
2020, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. So
it depends on
all
where
right.
you are, but just like where you are in, these other states too, like Wisconsin, I'd say mostly red, but there's Milwaukee and, some of the major populated places, Madison and things like that are probably more liberal. But yeah, no, I definitely felt more on edge driving through those states than I have in the past. Also, by the way, this was the first time I've ever driven from Colorado to Wisconsin. My family used to drive from Oklahoma to Wisconsin, but we never did it from Colorado. I always flew, but this time, since I have a family of 5, that would have been a fairly pricey ticket, and driving was just a better option. So yes, we drove, and we just, like I said, it was a little more on edge. And it wasn't, nothing happened, nothing, I didn't see anything, nothing, I wasn't threatened. It was just the fact that I just felt potential for it, I guess, more so than I have in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I get that.
And then, but yeah, no, it was still, it was still great. It's still good the people are very nice up there. Even if I did see a few billboards that said choose life. So that was something that I was thinking that, I don't know, one of these days, I don't know if we're going to have one of those conversations about the, Roe versus Wade and all the decisions being made statewide for that, as things still are developing this year, of course, for the elections. Yeah. But I did see a lot of billboards on it, and it,
Did they have a phone number? It said 555-4-TRUTH.
No.
Oh, why? Man. Because those are like everywhere along I-44. There's like Jesus is the only way, or like choose life, or whatever. The phone number is always 555-4-TRUTH. I'm like, I should call that number just to see like what's up, what's going on there. So
yeah. Well, I just always, every time I see it, I know that those billboard signs, have a little baby, a cute baby on it, and it's always, this choose life thing, and it just makes me think to adoption. It makes me think about how they're promoting this adoption versus abortion narrative, and I don't know, it just still kind of makes me sick when I see that as an alternative, as an option, as even a parallel, conversation. It just, I don't know, I just don't. I understand where some of them are coming from because they have a stronger religious background, and I know you guys talked a little bit about religion and stuff that last week as well. But have you felt that, I don't know, that tugging at all with being in the church or being at around other people, that have more religious beliefs on that?
I was gonna make a joke, and then I realized I was like, maybe I shouldn't make this joke because it's inappropriate given the history of the church. I was just gonna say, I feel all the tugging, but that seems maybe not the best way. But whatever, it's out there in the world now. It's fine. Hey man, that's what you said. Those are the words that you said, and I just wanted to say I feel all of it. Specifically, the tugging,
yes,
to which Nathan referred. It's fine. You put me there, and I just alley-ooped it into my own basket. Apparently, so score 1 for the other team. I was talking about
emotional tugging, but go ahead, continue.
A stirring in one's heart. I don't know. I was gonna ask you though, like a physical react, like you have maybe not like a physical reaction, but like it's a pretty strong reaction for you when you think about adoption as an alternative to abortion, or just like around adoption in general. Like, I don't know that we've ever explicitly talked about this on the show lately. One of our other ideas was just like, well, for this episode specifically, was just like for me to get a sense of, like, we're almost 100 episodes later, 2 years later from when we started the show, and I'm just curious, like, part of it is like our journeys as we explore these identities, and I'm curious like where you are now, and do you think your idea around adoption and abortion is different than when we started the podcast 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. The amount that I've learned about it.
What changed?
I think knowledge, information. Hearing more stories. I mean, it wasn't that back in the day, I knew about stories were both, the adoption narrative were both good and bad. And I knew that was a possibility. I think I didn't know all the complicated systematic failures or things that we've heard from certain guests or just others that I've discussed the topic with. And that's made me change some of my idea behind it. But I still think that there are, pros and cons, I think, to both adoption and what's, what we talk about on our show, from others' points of view. But again, I can only take it from my point of view, which again, I'm one of the, I feel fortunate with not being, having too much trauma, I guess. And that's where I just feel the empathy towards the ones that do. And I just don't want it to be, that this is okay because my story is okay. It's the, the stories that are not okay that people need to listen to, and hopefully change the things that are not okay and the things that are going wrong with, the overseas and the, Adoption Citizenship Act and all that stuff. So all of those things have made me change the idea of adoption. And I guess I'm more aware of the holes and the problems. So.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you have such a strong reaction to it, do you think?
Maybe it's because I feel like at some point, all this time that I've been thinking the other, and I feel tad guilty that I've promoted some of the things that may have seemed not insensitive, but you know what I'm saying? Like, been promoting, adoption is love, and I'm so lucky and everything's great, and all those things that I used to say, but not thinking about how that really affects others or just other views on adoption or other adoption cases and things like that. So
like however far you promoted it, you now feel the opposite in the other direction, kind of.
Not completely 100% opposite, but yeah, definitely back toward the middle, like I don't know, like a rubber band that stretched for a second and then now it's kind of back to normal state. And now I'm getting a lot more information, and sure enough, there's so much information. So, maybe like a rubber band, there's only so far I can stretch with all this information that I'm taking in and things like that. So I don't want to, think that I know everything about it, and I don't. So I just want to learn more and be more aware, and just so I can be more considerate, and especially since we do talk about things all the time on our podcast. So if we ever go back and listen to some of our older episodes, I'd be curious to see if I ever said anything that I may not agree with now.
Yeah, you're like, old Nathan.
Old Nathan, what
Past
are you doing
Nathan,
2 years
you
ago?
didn't know. Future Nathan is coming down at you hard with some judgments. Interesting.
Do you feel that same way, that you may have said something, or?
I don't know that there's been a lot of change. There's just been a lot of like stories. But I was just thinking like I have changed a lot as a person. Around my ideas of race and religion, but specifically around adoption, that's still not like an area I've really waded into. I think I'm able to talk about it more nuancedly. Is that how you, Sarah? Sarah, how do you say that word? I'm able to have a more nuanced conversation. That's the better way of saying it.
Okay.
Not nuancedly. But yeah, I'm able to have Sure, yeah, because because of these stories and things, and certainly it's been eye-opening to hear all of like the negative experiences that people have had, and whether it's just like in passing in a clubhouse room that I like popped in on, or like there's a documentary around it, or whatever on other podcasts, other competing podcasts, which shall not be named. I'm just kidding. A bunch of other Korean adoptee podcasts. It's definitely like broadened my eyes to not just like a single narrative adoption, but as like there's a whole cornucopia of outcomes, and are we aware of all those things? But I am, I don't know. I don't know that I'm I don't know that I'm changed so much, specifically around adoption. I haven't thought about it much, I guess, is my answer. So.
Well, I mean, you're thinking about different things at different times. So the fact that you've thought about yourself and adopt religion and those parts, I mean, those, I think they're all included. I want to say religion has been probably a part of my thoughts as well about, the savior mentality and just why a lot of adoptions happened and occurred. So,
yeah, that also, speaking of that, I'm like currently wrestling with how we can have Christianity without a savior complex baked into it. I don't know. Maybe there's no getting around it, but that's a different discussion. Or it's not. I don't know. We don't really have a topic set for this one. We're just feeling our way through. This is what the Janchi Show could have been if even one of us had said no. So we're just exploring in these past 2 weeks, current week and last week, what that is like. Since we started the podcast, what else do you think has changed for you besides just like how you think about adoption? Is there anything that you can like pin down?
Definitely wanting to be more involved, I think, because I've heard more stories, met more people. It's like, we talked about last time, I think sense of community, that I knew that it was out there, but I didn't think how much I would like being involved in it. I think. And so, I mean, I just started when I was in California, just really starting getting into like any Asian culture, community and having friends, of Asian descent. And that was kind of fun for me at that point, where it made me realize what I was missing there. And then finding the adoption community while I was in California, because I definitely didn't find it here in Colorado or in Oklahoma. And then now, finding it in California and then moving back to Colorado and finding that there was one in Colorado. I'm like,
like, where were you guys like 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly. So that's been really great to do that. And that's something that's changed is my desire to be wanting to be involved in it and wanting to learn more and wanting to help and, do whatever I can to spread stories, spread my story, spread experience, help with the community.
Do you think that it's like when you talk about the adoptee community, do you think it's all adoptees? Are you specifically drawn to Asian adoptees, the transracial adoptees, or is it just whomever is adopted, domestic, transracial, transnational, whatever?
Sure. I mean, I would have, closer to my heart with anything that is Korean adoptee related. But that doesn't mean I don't see or want to be involved in any adoption related, discussions. So anyone, even domestic adoptees, adoptees from other countries, I'm completely on board with helping, because there are parallels. There's definitely things that are still, can be helpful. And I did even talk to one of my friends last week about this, because they have an adopted son, and I said that if they ever want to have a discussion, or if he ever wants to have a discussion, I'm completely open to talking and seeing what parts of that I can help with or direct in some way. And that was I'm open to it. And I just don't know that many, because typically you don't know somebody's adopted unless you really get into a deep conversation, unless like when I was in Wisconsin, and we saw a couple families that had an Asian child with Caucasian parents, and we're all like, a couple of my friends and I look at it and says, yep. So,
I know these optics.
I know what's going on here.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I have definitely seen that in you, where you just are growing into a love for and an affinity for the adoptee community. And same as you, like I definitely am like, oh yeah, Asian adoptees. Like for me, I'm just like, as long as you're like Asian, I guess, like I'm here for it. I'm here for that conversation. Because that is a journey that I still feel like I'm a baby giraffe, like learning how to walk and fall down and pick myself up again, in terms of like my adoptee identity, just because that's the one that I've done the least work around, the least thinking about. But I totally get that. But it's not for me yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what has also been really interesting is the journeys that you and me and Patrick have been on. I think we've all started in a similar place and gone through these journeys in ways that are parallel but are not the same.
Right.
And the way, like, it's been really cool to have these conversations because, I mean, we want to be not like, obviously we can't be fully representative, but we just want to be representative of even in our three stories, the differences and the nuances without even really having to look that hard for it, of what it means to be adopted, you know, and what it means to be finding yourself and trying to take that journey, you know. And so whether you're leaning into the adoptee community, leaning into social justice of it, just leaning into yourself of it, apparently I am just navel gazing. That's what I'm trying to say. And the other two of you are doing great work for more than just yourself. But I mean, those are our journeys, and yeah.
Well, again, like, you know, we said since the beginning that, you know, our stories, you know, we are not a monolith. We have different stories and different interests and different beliefs. And so as we started our journeys, I think we latched on to the things that we were interested in, or that we maybe had skills in, or that we had, you know, connections with. And you actually say that you're not doing much, but I remember I've said this before in the past. I mean, just the fact that you wrote a few songs, sang a few songs. I mean, your expression through music and through that artistic expression is, I think, amazing. And a lot of people, I think, can relate to that and probably have been moved by it. And it doesn't have to be us just talking, you know, on our podcast, or, you know, showing up to events like Patrick and speaking to large groups. You know, your song is on the internet. Your multiple songs are on the internet that people can hear. So you may never know, you know, how you've touched somebody, or maybe, you know, inspired somebody or moved them. And but I'm sure that you have. So you've done your own work. So you know, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's
you can set up that applause trigger like you did last week.
I did that last week. I'm like, wait, this feels gross. I don't like applauding myself. You guys need to stop complimenting me, so I feel the impetus. Anytime I hear someone say something nice about someone, I'm like, oh, applause time. But when it's about me, I'm like, wait, no, I just trapped myself. Like I feel like I walked into a trap.
I thought it was funny. I liked it, and then you did it twice. I think because it was on loop.
I'm not perfect. It's fine. No, I mean, yeah, I do think it's even beyond who it's for. Like, it's been interesting for myself to try to scratch that itch again, that like idea that I can be a songwriter and that I can do those things, you know, like it's been rejuvenating, I think, for self-expression, even while I complain about being bad at self-expression, just to have something else to write about and to have like a particular take and particular voice. And yeah, so it's been good. But like I said, I think it's just been a lot of internal work, but my point in saying that, for all the jokes that I make, is like internal work is really valid and is really important, but it just like the reactions to coming out of the fog can be so varied, you know. And one of the reasons we love having people on the show, and we're working on finding honestly, our scheduling is not great, because as you can see, we've had 2 episodes now where not even the full Feisty Boy power has been combined. But one of the reasons we're working on getting guests back on, and why guests and guest interviews will always be a heart of the show, is because like part of our purpose for being a podcast is to highlight the many reactions to being adopted, the many pathways that we choose, and just to say like, yes, this is good and I want to know more. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And it's just I'm excited to have a further conversation with Patrick on the show about how we have grown and changed over these 2 years. Because a lot of the danger, of course, of having only a guest show, or like too many guests, you know, whatever, is like, while people are learning new language and sharing their story for the first time, or like in the early stages, that's really powerful and wonderful. But sometimes our stories can get trapped in those early stages, and we actually want the stories to continue, and we want to like actively push the narrative forward, you know. And so I think taking a moment and saying like, how have you changed in the last 2 years around kind of these topics is really important, and is an important thing to amplify and highlight as well.
Sure. Especially for anyone maybe who's new. I mean, I know there's a lot of our listeners who have gone back and listened to the episodes when we started. But I think we have maybe not done that and as recent as they have. So for us to hear some of the things that we've said or that we've thought about, I think would be very interesting.
For us to cringe at?
Yeah, or cringe at. I mean, I think is good because, we can learn from ourselves. We can learn from, unfortunately, our past episodes are there forever. And so whatever we've said is there. And so, yes, I think it would be good to re-listen and address those things. But because we have grown and we've learned a lot, I think. So,
yeah. It feels like a good break time. Do you want to do a food thing?
I'm all for food things. Since you guys did
He's
one last
all
week without
for the
me,
food thing.
let's do a food without Patrick because he'll probably be happy to eat it without us as well. So
yeah, take that.
Eat it, Patrick.
All right,
eat something. Welcome back to the Janchi Show. Foodie part.
Foodie everywhere.
Woo!
Yeah, that one's
sorry. That one's for you,
around.
Patrick. Well, that was for Patrick because he said I come in each time differently, and so there you go, something different.
I just really like foodie everywhere, and we're gonna need to use that at least a couple of more times.
Okay, I'll save more next
One
time.
time though, you should just yell, just food.
Boo!
All right. Enough with the silliness. What are we eating today?
Yeah, we are eating some Crown stick cake, chocolate and marshmallow. I don't know. I don't know what it has to do with Britain. I don't know why is Big Ben on the cover of this along with a double-decker bus.
Oh wait, hold it up again.
It's
interesting. The stick cake looks like the tube. The tube.
Yeah.
Logo.
I guess a stick cake like this could look like a double-decker bus in a way, but I like chocolate and I like marshmallow, so I don't see how this could be bad.
I like one of those things, and I don't like the other thing. So the inside package, we've got Big Ben, we've got a red umbrella. What's more British than a red umbrella? We got the Buckingham Palace Guard, and
your package is. Oh wait, never mind.
Dude, you gave me this package.
I know. No, I was looking at the other thing. There's also a telephone booth.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Wait, where is that? That's
it's over on the far right. It's the Doctor Who booth.
And then that's how it's LONX.
LONX.
So
what does that mean?
LONX.
What is a LONX?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like LONX or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't either.
I'm gonna jump in.
But let's find out. Oh, opens relatively easy. Looks.
That's good. There's not a clear open here.
No, looks like a chocolate coated
marshmallow
wafer. I'm instantly having choco pie flashbacks. Right? But in a stick form.
I don't know if I like this.
It's a little dry.
It's quite
Wish
dry.
I had some coffee.
It is like a Hostess snack choco pie business.
Mm-hmm. Very similar, but a stick. It's got the marshmallow on the inside, a little pound cake, chocolate. It's not too crumbly, but
trying not to crumb my pants, but there is
I'm trying not to crumb the
chocolate
keyboard
swirl thingy on the top.
I'm gonna come back here and there's gonna be ants all over my keyboard.
Wholly digestible. So that's what I have to say about that. Patrick, what do you think? That's not even the audio cue I meant to hit, but it works.
It works.
Patrick would just laugh anyways.
So on the side of the package in English, it does have the word LONX, LONX, but in parentheses, pie.
In what language, Crown?
Somebody tell us. Does LONX mean pie?
Nobody knows. Is the
Crown
thing.
is
No one
telling
can
me.
tell us. Listeners, you're off the hook for this one because no one can tell us.
Yeah, I don't know. It was wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm jumping into ratings. I'm giving us a 2.
2.
It was dry. The chocolate wasn't that good. marshmallow. Why?
Yeah.
If I had coffee with it, I would have just been like, you know what? Keep to the LONX. I'm just gonna drink the coffee. Also, what the heck is LONX? So just
Pie.
all of it. Honestly, you're lucky I didn't give it less than 2.
Take that.
But it's just a 2. That's
Honest
what this
reviews
product
by
is.
KJ.
Yeah, you're not sponsoring us, Crown, but if you do sponsor us, I might change
My
my
rating
tone.
would go up.
Maybe, probably not. Honestly, I'm an honest
My rating
dude.
would go up. Crown
I'd
sponsor
just
us.
be like,
It'll
no,
go
keep your money. But Lotte,
But I agree. I don't think it was amazing. I'm going to give it. I'll give it a correct math. I'm going to give it half and go with a 2.5.
I mean, that correct math. I didn't say half.
Last week when Patrick said he's going to go right down the middle at a 2.75.
Oh gosh.
I died laughing. That was so great.
That's
That's
look,
okay.
we're not here for our brains or
No,
our
that's
looks,
okay.
even though this is being video recorded.
No, Patrick, it's okay. There's 3 types of people: those that are good at math, and those that aren't.
Wow. And we have a dad on our show, everyone. All right, so I gave it a 2. You gave it a what'd
I
you
give
give
it 2.5.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I could have it with coffee. It was, like I said, I mean, it's very similar to a choco pie, except it's a stick, not
You're too
round
generous.
thing. I would have given a choco pie of, I think, a 4. So I'm giving this one at least a 2.5.
Wow. I need to
I don't
fact
know.
check that.
I don't think it was, I don't think it was, like I said, I don't think it was horrible, and I don't think it was great. So that's why I went down the middle.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, well, we'll have to see what Patrick says. Maybe he'll go on IG Live and do his little review
Oh, he probably will.
of
Seems
it.
Seems right. He'll probably will, and he'll get tens of viewers. And I'll be like, Patrick, why are you so
Tens.
famous? Yeah.
Potentially. But hey, this has been fun. I'm glad we had our little duo show today, and appreciate everyone for listening. I know we're getting close to 100. I know we're getting close to announcing a potential event that we'll be having this year. So we will just stay tuned. I know you're all waiting.
I'm looking at the date. When did we set it? We set it for like months in the future, right? So we got plenty of time to procrastinate.
Yes.
All right, great.
So we still have a couple months.
We have months, and it will still be a mad scramble. It's fine. We're not put together.
Don't worry, listeners. It's not next week.
Yikes. Or in 3 weeks. It's
or
fine.
3 weeks. I'm excited. But yeah, I guess that's the show, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, you have all the traditional, things. I know you can find me on Instagram at NoWalk. You can find Patrick at Patrick in the World. You can find KJ at KJ Rolke, and he has the phone number.
There is something on my computer. I
Is
thought
it
it was
moving?
a power button, but I think it's gross. Ew. All right, I'm gonna figure that out later. Anyways, yeah, he's in NoWalk. We're the Janchi Show on all the places we want to be found, which is specifically Instagram, Facebook After Party. That's a group that we have where you can hang out. What do I say? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You email us, janchyshow@justlikemedia.com. You can support the
Buy us
show.
a coffee.
Yeah, support the show financially, leaving us a rating or review on Apple or Spotify, any of those things. Or if you forget and you just hear me mumbling, just go to janchishow.com/support. That's how you can support the show. You can leave us a voicemail if you'd like, 972-677-8867. That's 972-677-8867 for just 3 easy payments of $15.
That's what it totally sounded like.
Right?
So what are you selling
there's
me?
more.
What are you selling
You
me?
can find me at KJ Relke wherever you want to be found on the internet, which honestly is getting smaller and smaller by the second. You can find Patrick at Patrick in the World on Instagram or on his LinkedIn as Patrick Armstrong. He's the Asian one. There's probably a bunch of white Patrick Armstrongs that might appear. It's the Asian Patrick Armstrong. And I think
have we
that's
fact
it.
checked that, or is there not a second?
You know what?
Asian
You're not
Patrick
wrong.
Armstrong?
I'm gonna look this up right
Just
now.
because what if there's 2 Asian Patrick Armstrongs? I mean,
You're right.
let's
You're
not
right.
confuse
You're
the
right.
listeners
I'm gonna
here.
Look up at Patrick Armstrong.
And
It's gonna
then-
be unfortunate. Like he's like my first connection, you know.
Sure,
So
but you're already friends with him.
people. Okay, we've got white, no picture, white,
Wait,
no picture, no picture. That's all kind of close to Dallas. I'm gonna go to page 95. Oh wait, there's not a 95. What? There were just like hundreds of connections. Diane Armstrong, no picture. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's mostly white people. So I'm pretty confident saying he's the Asian one, and if I end up being wrong, I'll pay someone some money. So whoever calls
So
me
if
on
you
that.
are an Asian Patrick Armstrong, call
On
in
LinkedIn,
to the show.
Or if you discover that there's another Asian Patrick Armstrong who is not our co-host, call in and I will pay you money. We'll get the
Ooh.
details sorted out. All right. Anyways, that's our show. Until next week, hopefully, Janchi Yeah. Oh, stop with the looping. All right, whatever.